What's up, everyone? It's your boy NornRad89 here, bringing you another video today. As you can tell by the thumbnail, we are here to talk about my top 10 favorite films from 2021, the previous year. It's over. I know I'm a bit late posting this video, but New Year's happened and my son's birthday was also this week, so it's a busy kind of packed week for me. But here we are to talk about my 10 favorite. And of course, I didn't see every film that came out last year. I did miss some big ones and stuff like that. Mainly Spider-Man No Way Home and West Side Story. Those are like two big ones for me that I didn't get a chance to see yet. But as of right now, for my top 10, this is where it lays for 2021. So let's get into this video. And of course, stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm going to be having a special giveaway. So you got to stick to the end so you can find out what's going down. Coming in at number 10 for me is going to be Antlers, Scott Cooper's creature flick. This is a really good horror creature flick. I really did enjoy this one. I had certain expectations going into this film, and as I was watching it, it just kept checking off all the lists on the box. Plus, we have Kerry Russell as the lead actress in this movie, and I think she does a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of the acting and the story in this movie, but she carries it so well, and she's such a joy to see on screen. And like, for real, Antlers, like I said, it just was everything I wanted, and it wasn't anything. I knew what it wanted to be, was committed all the way to the end. Some gory creature stuff, so it's an amazing, good film. Coming in at number 10, Antlers. Number 9 for me is going to be Matrix Resurrections, the fourth film in the Matrix franchise. I caught this in theaters. You could also catch it on HBO Max, but I had a blast with this film. I think this one is for sure a good way to introduce some new people to the Matrix franchise. It's definitely a different red pill for sure compared to the other Matrix ones. When you take that dive into this movie, it's got a different color palette, a bunch of new actors and cast to join Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss, but I had fun with the movie, and I think it has a really good meta story. So Matrix Resurrections sits here comfortable at my number 9 spot. Coming in at number 8 is going to be Fear Street 1978. And oh man, just talking about the Fear Street trilogy, I loved it. I have a ranking on my channel if you want to go check out my ranking for these films. But Fear Street 1978, this is the second film out of the trilogy. Oh man, this one is such a powerful one. I was really happy with these horror films because these films really got me through that summer months when it was like not Halloween yet, coming and approaching. It's really good to have some good new horror throughout the summer months. And Fear Street 1978 has a lot of good callbacks to like Jason Voorhees Camp Crystal Lake style stuff. We get to follow Tommy and his transition into becoming like the Sackhead Killer. More stuff about the Sarah Fear like kind of witch story. So I really did have a blast with this film. But of course, there's one that came in above it that I had even more fun with, and that's my number 7 pick, and that's going to be Fear Street in 1994. That 90s nostalgia, man, it just hit home perfectly for me. The soundtrack in this one, the characters, I loved spending time with all of them in this movie. I really had a blast with them. I think the dialogue is really fun, realistic, and witty, and flies off the page in this one. I like the skull mask killer, and it's the introduction to like finding out about the Sarah Fear curse and more about it. And I think it's just a really cool story, like all the Fear Street trilogy. I wanted to put the other one up here too, 1666, but those other two movies, like there are other movies that came out better than that one this year, but these two for me were bangers. And I think Fear Street, that is like the best that we've got, in my opinion, in terms of horror this year. I really had a great time with all three of these films. Coming in at number 6 is going to be James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, a crazy ensemble cast bringing to life some of the most obscure characters that you've ever seen in the DC world. I think our two standouts are obviously John Cena and Idris Elba. They do such a great job, and like their chemistry on screen, you can really feel it. The one-liners, the dialogue. I think James Gunn was the perfect director for this film, and I really think watching this one makes me a lot more excited for the Peacemaker show, because when I was watching it, I was like, John Cena has range. He really does have some good acting skills and range if you could look past some of the other roles that he's done, but he, like I said, I'm eager to see that Peacemaker TV show, and it's mainly because of how good he was in the Suicide Squad film. Now we're here at the top 5, and before we get down to that, if you haven't yet or you're new to the channel, consider dropping a like and subscribing so you don't miss a thing. So let's kick this off with my number 5 pick, Nobody. Oh man, this is one of those storylines that we've seen done 1,000 times, 100 times before. Kind of this like kind of sleeper John Wicky type story. Of a guy who's just a normal guy, but then he secretly is a badass in his past life. He's got some history, but Bob Odenkirk really does do so good in this role and like brings to life an amazing character, and he really elevates the story. We also have Christopher Lloyd in this movie. RZA is also in this movie, so it's got this interesting cast. A very, like I said, simple story that we're used to, so you can just enjoy it, and it's like a popcorn flick. Really good action, some great acting in it, and like I said, it's a very simple story that you can just get attached to and enjoy the action and enjoy some popcorn. And there's another standout flick too that was kind of similar to this one, like a little revenge action flick type story, and it was Kate on Netflix. If you like Nobody with Bob Odenkirk, I highly recommend going to check out Kate on Netflix. That's a great one too. Coming in at number 4 is going to be Zack Snyder's Justice League, the epic 4-hour event that we waited years for. I'm so happy that Zack Snyder actually got a chance to bring this movie to life and really realize his vision, and it came out so much better than the previous one that was done by Josh Whedon. All the score, the music, the cinematography, even the different editing and all the stuff that they added into it in scenes, it came out so much better. Even Flash, his character was a lot better in this one. So like I said, that Zack Snyder Justice League is just, it's like that other one was like a microwave dinner, Josh Whedon's, and like Zack Snyder's Justice League is like a fine course, 3 dinner, 3 meal, type thing. Like that's how it was. It was so beautiful, so amazing to see. Me and my wife thoroughly had a great time with this one. It was a real event when we checked this one out when it came out, and we watched it on HBO Max. Coming in at number 3 is going to be one that I actually checked out on in the first day of this year, but I was catching up on some films that I missed from the previous year, and that's Nicolas Cage in Pig. Oh man, this is probably the best writing and best character driven story that I've seen almost all year. It's so good, like for real. Like I think Nicolas Cage, this is easy in my top 5 of one of his favorite performances. You know what I mean? He does such a good job and just walks into the story. And it's not a film that's for everybody. It's definitely a specific taste type film. You have to be into kind of slow burn and character driven stories if you're going to be watching this, because there's not a lot of action. But all, like, for me, the payoff is so freaking good. Like for real, all the character moments in this one, they ring like, are so potent, and they ring with like emotions, and you can feel it through the screen. And like I said, all the actors I think did a very good job in this film. So I highly recommend checking out Pig, even if you're not into slow burn or just all talking type films. Like I really think you should give this one a chance, especially if you're a Nicolas Cage fan, because he really did knock it out of the park for this film. Coming in at number 2, the runner up to the top dog, that's going to be Denis Villeneuve's Dune. Oh man, this is like a film that I was eagerly waiting, so anticipating, and we had to wait because it got postponed a few times. But we got Timothée Chalamet in this movie, Oscar Isaac, Rebecca Ferguson, Jason Momoa, another amazing ensemble cast, like a lot of the films on this list. And oh man, it just, like for real, was a blast. Like every moment of this film, it is a sci-fi epic. And this is just Dune Part 1. My bad, I should have said that at the beginning. Dune Part 1, because we know officially we're going to be getting Part 2, and I'm so excited for that. So damn, like for real. And Denis Villeneuve is the perfect director for this type of film. Like I trust him because he's so good at everything he does. He did Blade Runner 2049 and Prisoners. Like he's just, as a director that I trust, and he's a really new hot name in Hollywood, and he's getting around and getting his hands on a lot of cool projects, and I'm so excited to see how Dune Part 2 comes out. But of course, there's a number 1, my top dog, my favorite film of the year, and it's right here. No Time to Die. Yes, this film, and if you know, and you're a fan of the channel and you stick to the channel, you know I'm a James Bond fan, and this film was easily my favorite of the entire year. When I thought of all the films on this list, or all the films I was thinking of when I was making the ones that I saw all year, this is the one. Like I was like, when I see this in the store, I have to pick it up for sure. It was so potent, so powerful. It offered me everything that I wanted in a Daniel Craig Bond film. It has everything you want, and it's very emotionally packed, and the creators of this movie really did take a daring risk in doing what they did. And I think that's the beauty of this film, is it's really, like I said, emotional, probably the heaviest emotional weighted Bond film that we've gotten like in a long time. And Daniel Craig, to have his whole catalog kind of capped off like this, it's just a beautiful thing for me, like for real. And like this one was everything I wanted it to be. Like there are some gripes I do have with this movie. Like this isn't a perfect movie, but it is in my top 5 favorite Bond films. Like oh man, like Daniel Craig, Jeffrey Wright, Leah Seydoux, like Lashana Lynch, all the people in this film were so great. I really do love Nomi. Like I like the whole passing of the torch to her, how Bond was. Like the way the film went on and they were setting it up, I knew something major was going to happen at the end with Bond. We have Rami Malek as the villain. Like it's just such a great film, and this is the one for me that stuck with me out of all the films on this list all year. Like I said, this was the most emotionally packed one and the one that I had the best time with. So yes, No Time to Die sitting here at number 1. And if you saw the beginning and you stayed through to the end of this video, you know I'm going to be having a special giveaway now, and that's going to be the digital code to this No Time to Die, because this is the DVD Blu-ray digital code. I'm going to be giving out the digital code. So to get that, or to enter in to do that, I want you to comment in the comment section saying this is my entry, and I'll pick somebody on Monday at random and pin their comment to the top, so that way you'll like, that's my pick. And like, oh man, you could write other stuff too, telling me your top 10 favorites or what other stuff you liked or other movies that you saw that I didn't, that I think I should check out, you know what I mean? So I can breeze through those. But in your comment, type this is my entry, so I know that is your entry. And like I said, on Monday I'll pick a comment at random and pin it to the top, and you'll get the digital code to No Time to Die. So thanks for sticking around with me, all. I hope you enjoyed this video for my top 10 of 2021. Stay tuned to the channel, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a safe and happy day. Peace out.